Hi guys, Aaron here and welcome to the workshop. A lot of you have been asking about the Aerocoach Aeox wheels that I started using. Recently I've used them for my national time trial championships, but those were just prototype versions of the wheels. And now I finally got my production version of the rear disc wheel, which now has a tubeless carbon fiber rim instead of the aluminum one, which I've been using before. So this is the final version of that wheel set. Now, what is special about this Aerocoach disc wheel? So it uses, much like, for example, I had the jet disc, a standard spoked wheel underneath, and you've got the aerodynamic cover, which is bonded on to the rim itself. Now, why is this so? Because there are other discs. I had many discs in the last 3 years. So I had a Zip Super 9, Zip Sub 9, Dash, Roval, etc. All of those were discs with structural sidewalls. This wheel doesn't. The reason for that is for the best possible aerodynamic efficiency, you need quite a lot of curvature, as you can see here on the drive side, and even more extreme on the non-drive side. And if you were to use this from, having a structural piece of carbon fiber, the wheel itself wouldn't be very stable. It would be quite wobbly indeed. So without this construction method, you can't really use the best possible shape for aerodynamics. You have to compromise a bit in order to keep the structural integrity up. So how does this wheel perform? Well, unlike most manufacturers, Aerocoach do make direct comparisons with their competitors. So aerodynamics wise, this is pretty much the fastest wheel out there at the moment. It's very slightly faster than my Roval, which I had before, and a good chunk faster than either the Head or the Zip, which are pretty much the top competitors. As I said, it's fully tubeless ready and optimized for the fastest time trial tire out there, which is a 23mm Corsa Speed TLR. I have the G2 version now, which is slightly faster still. As you can see, it perfectly integrates with the rim shape and width. The wheel itself is quite wide at the brake track, and of course it bulges out quite a lot because of that aforementioned curvature. So if you're running an older time trial bike with confined spaces in the chainstay area, then you need to check the fitment, which you can do by printing out a small template from the Aerocoach website. Weight wise, there's a great reduction comparing to the aluminum rim. So this will comes in at least my particular example, 1160 grams, including the factory pre-installed rim tape, which is nice because it saves a lot of time. You also get the tubeless valve and a padded wheel bag with the wheel itself. The sidewalls I made from this quite unique. Well, I never seen it anywhere else in the cycling industry. This is biaxial weave, or so is it called. I think it's beautiful. Matches quite well with the rest of my bike. Quite a stealthy design. You can have a variety of decal options. I had the standard black one, but you can get custom options. But again, this is the one that matches my bike. Hub wise, there's been a question about 12-speed compatibility. Now, as you can see, my bike, my time trial bike, is still running on 11 speed. So at the time of recording this video, it's not yet XDR compatible, but and this is a big but, if you want, Aerocoach will build you this wheel as a custom option with any hub. So if you want, you can choose an XDR compatible hub, and you can actually, in my opinion, save a bit of weight maybe. I haven't yet seen one of those custom wheels in flash, but they are available, so if you contact them, I'm sure they'll be happy to help you out with the details. So going back to the disc wheel itself that I currently am using, we know it's fast, we know it's light. How does it ride? Well, as you'd expect, it rides like a standard spoke wheel, so no super stiff disc wheel feeling in there, which is nice. No brake rub, again because of the standard spoked construction underneath. Mentioning the spokes, this is a 24 spoke version, so it's the lighter one. If you're a heavier rider, you can opt for 28 spokes, if I'm correct, so you can beef it up a little bit, but I don't think it will be necessary, or you can get special versions for tandem use, etc. Brake wise, it's the rear wheel, so not really all that crucial in terms of braking, but it has a nice, well modulated feel, so really just does the job. The fitment of the tubeless tire, as I said, it was designed to work with this tire. It's the fastest with this tire, and it's also easy to fit and inflate, so no real hassle about it. Inflated on the first try and stayed like that ever since, so no problems at all. If you want to ask about the front wheel, well, the thing is, I didn't get the front wheels yet from them, and as far as rim brake versions are concerned, I will not, because as it turns out, I'll be upgrading this bike to the new S-Works Shiv TT in the winter when it becomes available. So I will also have the disc brake versions of the Aeox wheels, now front and rear. So until then I'm staying with this setup, and well, basically most things will be carried over to there. Setup wise, very similar. As you can see, I'm also running my watch-up bars here. Nothing has changed in that front. Actually today I've used this bike in the time trial. You can check the data on Strava. It's a very hard one with 500 meters of climbing, 12-kilometer climb at the end. So not an easy one to pace, but I managed to win that for the third time in a row, and knocking my time down by a whole 2 minutes, or even actually slightly more. So you really can see the aerodynamics of the wheel, the drivetrain, the position up front, the helmet, skin suit choices, etc. They really do add up, because last year I've also won, but at a much slower time. Of course the conditions were rainy, so not ideal. It was pretty much spot on this year. Power wise, some people have called me out on this, that it's more or less the same like last year. Well, that's true, but also the position is much more aggressive, much narrower. I wouldn't say it's lower, but it's just more hunched up, so I can't put out as much power now as I can do on a road bike. But as you can see, it's a good trade-off, because shaving 2 minutes is not a gain you find every day. Yeah, so that's all for my current time trial setup. My last TT this year is on October the 6th, so after that I'll be selling this bike off and will prepare myself for the new Shiv. I'm going to talk about the decision of going there in an upcoming video. If you want to know more about the other bikes that I currently use, then don't forget to tune into the channel and subscribe. It's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.